Hey, this is our RIOT podcast.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us.
So today we talk about the Burger Buddy.
Yeah.
Amazon scams, allergy issues, doing what we want, long haul COVID at the gym, and frankly, some COVID shaming, really.
Well, I apologize if we feel that's how it was, but more or less, like, how does that work at the gym?
No, I just like to, anytime anybody says anything, I like to turn it into blank shaming.
Right back at them.
I love that. It's wonderful. Let's see. Goonies and ice cream, chicken yoga, background checks. I mean, there's more, but you stick around for that.
I think that's a pretty good amount. When you're done, I forgot to mention yesterday, you can hop over to RadioU RIOT on Facebook or our YouTube channel to watch our food fight for the frosted strawberry donut Oreos that we did. So if you want to watch that after this podcast, of course, head over there. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you're set.
All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic
It's
today.
day. Yes. Have a fantastic day. And thanks for enjoying and listening. And, well, hopefully enjoying. That was a positive statement right there. Hopefully enjoying the podcast today.
Yes, indeed.
Bye.
So, bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I feel like I was almost your grandparents last night. And by that, I mean, I came so close to falling for an online scam that it was just like,
oh no.
It wasn't an online scam. It was a phone call.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I got,
well, now you know it's a scam.
I know.
If it's that.
So here's how it happens. I was, okay, check this out, humble brag. I went to the gym yesterday.
Nice.
Look at me.
Nice.
So I was at the gym. And I use my phone to play music, Bluetooth. It's a wireless format that allows you to use headphones. So I was listening in, my phone's ringing, and typically my take on the gym is like, this is my time. So we're not going to be answering any phones, et cetera, et cetera. So it's an 800 number. And they leave a message and like, this is Amazon fraud protection, blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
they know the word to use to make you cause fear. You're like, well, wait, we should just still check since they said Amazon.
And so then like 5 minutes later, they called back again.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, 2 phone calls from the same number.
What are we doing?
Nobody would ever do that. And so then I went online and I'm like, there's just no evidence anywhere of anything. But I will have to say that of all the times, because I mean, you know, I've been hit by this stuff where they're like, this is Microsoft security clearance. Someone's trying to hack into your computer and find your family photos. And you're like, oh, yeah. Boy, I'm so concerned right now.
But a fraud with an Amazon thing, you start going on your account. You're like, well, did something not go through? Like, what's the matter? But you find out you're fine.
What? Yeah, that's right. So that it's okay. I didn't do it. But I definitely had that moment where I was like, oh, yeah, I feel the panic. It's like they shot a little panic at me through the phone.
Adrenaline. Oh, and so you can feel like if you're a person who maybe fell for it.
Yes.
You can see how it happens.
I really could. Yesterday, I was like, I have newfound respect for these stupid people that fought. No. But I mean, I'll say, I got it yesterday.
Aww.
I didn't do it.
But you were close.
But I felt what you feel when you fall for it.
Well, good job on going to work out, too.
Right.
That was just the universe is trying to get you down.
I think that's what it was. Man, I was at the gym and they were like, hit him.
Get him.
He shouldn't be. He's making positive steps. Get him.
Hey, guys, call him twice.
That'll teach him.
That could have been it.
Yeah. So, yep. Nope. I did it. So, listen, if you've ever fallen for it, I want you to know I didn't, but I see how you could have. It's okay.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki and I are just, we're just hanging out, thinking about breakfast burgers.
Oh, that does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's not the breakfast burger that has my attention, but I do think it's funny that there's this company that has made this device that they're marketing directly to me. Mm-hmm. They feel like I need this. So in my targeted advertising, I have an ad for the Burger Buddy.
What is that?
The Burger Buddy is almost like accordion-like plastic thing.
Is it like a mold? Oh, I see it. Oh, it holds a hamburger.
And you put a hamburger down in it.
It's like a cupcake liner, but for a hamburger, and the hamburger goes on the side.
And then you eat your way through the hamburger. It keeps it from being messy. That's why it's your buddy.
That's why it's an eco-friendly solution. This is what they think that you need.
This is the advertising that I'm getting.
Well, they've gone close enough with a hamburger.
And if you keep scrolling down on Burger Buddy, it's for more than just burgers, and it shows a Krispy Kreme donut inside the Burger Buddy. Because, see, it's expandable, or it retracts, so you can adjust the size, and that way you can keep your dainty hands clean while still enjoying all the decadent burgers of your choice.
It looks like it started as a Kickstarter, if I'm looking at it correctly.
Look at if you scroll all the way down, what is it with this hugely ripped guy standing there eating a burger?
Well, he wants to show you that you can also look like that if you ate hamburgers.
Burgers are also protein.
Mm-hmm.
So, get yourself a Burger Buddy and look like me.
Doesn't look the worst. I just didn't know we made such a mess that we needed that.
Well, I just hate when people advertise something to me and it's like, oh,
here it is.
You know what? Please don't tell me what, hashtag or tagging or whatever it is about me and my life. Don't tell me what it was that got me the Burger Buddy ad, okay?
Well, if you watch, I just sent you a video for it. It's really funny because they're showing you doing all this stuff while you're just walking around with a hamburger. And I don't know, maybe I eat faster, but I'm not doing all this stuff if that's what I was having for lunch. It'd be gone by then.
Yeah, why are we playing with a train set and eating a burger?
I didn't know we were supposed to eat with all this stuff.
What's this guy doing? He's biking and
you'll
climbing.
See the guy, he's working
it's
out.
That guy and eating the burger.
Yes. It's way more than we do when we eat with anything.
You know what, though? For real, that's a hilarious piece of advertising right there. You know how messy a burger gets when you're doing those one-arm pull-ups or sliding on deck. Oh, that's crazy. Well, okay. Yeah, and it was. You're right. It was a Kickstarter, but now it's being advertised to me because apparently, again, something about the way I live my life told the algorithm.
You're the keyword hamburger.
This is our guy.
How much is the thing? Do you get a pack of them or something?
You know what? I don't know. Let me see. How much am I going to pay? How much would you? No, now that's just the Instagram account.
4 Burger Buddies for $24.99, and there's free shipping.
Well, I'll tell you what. At any point, Nikki, I'm expecting a windfall of sorts.
You can get them on Amazon. That's at least there's better. Well, I don't know what else.
Do you want to go in halvesies on a 4-pack of Burger Buddies?
Do you want to share? We can keep one here at work or something. Why don't you let us know if anything else advertising wise pops up at you? But maybe we'll just put that in a holding thing. Let's just put that to our list, and we'll see if we want in the future.
I'll just put it you know how you can put it in your cart, but it goes to the bottom of the cart. Yeah,
save it for later.
Yep, maybe that.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
All right, big money, no whammies. No whammies, Dickie. Looking for my U.S. bank account, logging in. It's taking extra time. Is the stimulus here? And stop! Oh.
It's the riots. Oh, your stimulus is not in yet? It's probably not going to be till tomorrow. Most of
it's not there.
What they're saying, the larger banks are holding it till tomorrow.
Okay. They're holding it?
Not holding it, but
doing?
I mean,
what are you doing with my money?
It's a mass amount of deposits, so it's not and I think this is what they had started saying back with the December one. They're they just can't, they just can't.
Can't even. I can't even, okay?
They just can't do it, but they will tomorrow.
What are we, a bank? Oh, crap.
But don't make them mad. I mean, they got your money, so just have to wait and be patient.
They're just hanging on to it. Actually, man, with the amount of money that is the stimulus check, if your bank just hung on to it for a day.
Oh, the money you would lose out?
The money they would make just by having that around, and then...
Don't say that. I'm sure they're not doing that.
No,
it's not about that.
They wouldn't.
It's just about, making sure everything's cleared and ready to go and then they'll have no problems. But at least my bank told me tomorrow. And then when I log into the government, check where it's at sort of thing, it says tomorrow.
Yeah, I did the same thing. This may surprise you, but this is what Nikki and I do when we're not on the air. So she just messaged me and she was like, hey, if you want to check, you can check here.
We message about grown-up things, like where's our money? And that's about it.
You want to see the money?
And then just, random things from Mitchell and Webb and, funny things.
So it looks like I should probably get it tomorrow. I thought we could all have the magic moment together where I moved it from checking to savings, but I guess it'll have to wait.
And it'll just be pending tomorrow, but you'll really get it Thursday. Because remember...
Man...
I think it's always pending for like a day.
This is worse than waiting on your parents. You're just like, Dad, when do we get to go to Disney World? It's pending, son.
It's pending. We'll see.
It's pending.
Yeah, you'll be fine, though. I mean, we're almost there.
I thought we were going Wednesday. Well, I told you, it's pending.
It is there.
It's still there. And technically, we're closer than we've ever been.
Now, I know a lot of people who got theirs already, and good for them. We're just... Our banks, for some reason, aren't doing it till tomorrow.
Well, okay. I'll keep my eyes open for that. I just wish I was going to go do something really awesome with it when it cleared.
Well, you still can. It's not like,
No, I don't have any plans. And, man, I like the mall near me. They're just shooting people all the time now. So I'm just
okay, now that's not what we're saying. I'm just telling
you.
We're not saying that at all. It's just, why don't you plan on Friday being the day?
Well, Friday was going to be the day anyway.
Yeah, so there you go.
So you're
It'll be all cleared by then.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, here's a couple $1,000s. It's a Friday. Have a good time.
Actually, don't do that, everybody. I take it back.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Because then you could literally, you're like, I can't blow through that much money. Yes, you can. You'd be so surprised.
All you got to do is you just got to
consoles later
ramp up the scale just a little bit, and you're going to be just fine.
So, just pace yourself. And they do say with larger purchases, you're supposed to give yourself a few days to think about it. So maybe think about it.
She's not lying. You really, you really should hold back just a little bit.
Just wait to see if you really truly want it or if you're just caught up in it.
Yep. She's right.
All right. Well, we'll check our stimulus check tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be there like they said.
What, you want to come back in here same time tomorrow?
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we were planning on it anyways.
Okay, great.
Actually, I'll be checking it when I wake up in the morning.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I want you to tell me one way as an adult that you've rebelled against your parents.
As an adult?
That you've done, they have this thing where they're like, you can't do this, and you're just like, I'm doing it. Or maybe you haven't done it yet.
I think I did enough when I was before an adult.
That you got it all out?
I think I got it all out. I mean, it crossed over a little bit after adult years, but I think I was done after a while. I did a lot.
I don't know very much about the story, but I was looking here. Jennifer Garner, she's on the commercials with the credit cards.
Yeah, she's an actress.
Yeah, she
has a lot on Instagram as well. She has this whole little thing with her place.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay. So she just got her ears pierced.
For the first time?
She's 48.
Wow.
48 years old, just pierced her ears. She said she didn't think her dad would approve. And so this whole time, she has not pierced her ears.
And now she finally did? What do her parents think?
I don't know if her parents
are they still around? Maybe.
Yeah. So she thought she wouldn't. She did say, she was like, well, I wasn't sure if I would like them. And she's like, but I really didn't think that my dad would approve. So
it's okay.
It was one of those things.
Oh, I remember I had gotten a few more tattoos than originally talked about, in the beginning, where your parents are okay with what you talk to them about.
And then you go.
And then there was a little bit of time where we had to not necessarily hide the rest of them, but, just didn't present them in a parental way.
Yep.
And then, you find out, but you're an adult. So
it's too late.
It's too late. What can they say?
They didn't did you feel like when they found out, did you still care?
No, and I don't think I have a lot of piercings too. And I don't think they were disappointed necessarily.
They were just mad. We're not disappointed. We're just mad.
My parents are pretty relaxed most of the time. I don't think they were.
Yeah.
Maybe with my nose, maybe, but
I don't know. For me, piercing, it's fine. You guys do what you want to do. I'm terrified of piercings.
So you just don't want to do it?
Nope. No. And I've said this before, no
Or
tattoos because I have scars. And I'll just tell you.
That's when you're supposed to cover them up. That's what a lot of people do.
Why?
Well,
I'm not ashamed of my scars, Nikki.
Then you don't
They're
need.
what brought me here.
Okay, then you don't need to. Never mind.
Like, give me a break. No, I just I've had big pieces of metal hanging out of my skin all the way down into my bone.
Yeah.
And they yanked them out with pliers. And after that, I was like,
You don't want to do anything else?
I don't really feel the pull to have any piercings right now.
Well, I like Angela. I got my first tattoo that way. My mom first saw it at Thanksgiving and ignored me the entire time. That's what sometimes happens. So if you're like, why? Your parents would be fine with it. There's the other side of it where your parents are not fine with it. And
Really not fine.
Even if you are, quote unquote, an adult, your parents can still ignore you and be mad at you.
I listened to an adult telling their quasi-adult daughter, like, what about your wedding? And I was just like, that's the first thing that came to your mind?
It is.
Is like, you're going to see her tattoo at the wedding? That's what you're thinking about right now?
And when your parents tell you that, and you're like, you're not even dating anyone, but they're just worried down the road.
What are you talking about?
Well, Angela, thanks for texting. We're sorry to hear that Thanksgiving was rough.
Very sorry to hear
And is she talking to you yet?
I think she probably is.
Okay, just in case.
Maybe the riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the riot on RadioU.
So we were talking a few minutes ago about the actress Jennifer Garner. She waited till she was 48, which is, I think, what she is now, to get her ears pierced because she felt like her dad, especially, would
be disappointed.
Wouldn't be on board with her doing that. And I've just been thinking about it. Do you know that you can do pretty much whatever you want? You're like, no, you can. Just do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And here's what I found, though. I went through this period of time where I was like, I'm just going to do what I want. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And here's what I found out is that there have been reasons why people are like, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Boundaries and stuff.
Some of that stuff they didn't come up with because they were mean. They came up with it because they were like, this is bad.
Remember we always say there's signs telling you not to do something because enough people were doing that something.
Yeah, this is not a good idea. You shouldn't, trust me, bro. You shouldn't do this. And you're like, I'm so sick of people trying to control me and tell me what to do. So, hey, I get it. I'm sympathetic to your plight. But I have found that doing whatever I want, whenever I want, usually it is fun for a while, for sure. And then you reach this point where you're like, oh, crap.
It can catch up.
It can catch up with you. So here's the thing I want you to know, that it is true that in a relationship with God, I've had God say to me many times, not a great idea. That's not a good one. Let's back up and go this other way. And I can completely vibe with the idea of being like, hey, the last thing I need is somebody else in my life telling me what to do. But what I have found is that inviting God into your life, letting him love you, and being willing to listen to what he has to say, it has been better for me than just doing whatever I want to do. Maybe, again, there's this window where you're like, well, I'm having the time of my life. I know, but there's this, I'm just telling you, you've opened a window. When you step through the window, there's something on the other side of the window. You understand? So look, if you want to invite God into your life, and maybe you're in the middle of dealing with consequences right now, God can help you work through those things too. Whether you're in the middle, wherever at in the process, you can invite God in and he's going to help you with where you are. You haven't done anything to disqualify yourself from God's love or his help. You can just say, Jesus, I need that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit, and I need some help. I do what I want, and it's causing me problems. Let God help you, right?
That's exactly how we say it. That's exactly it.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It's not just me, right? Allergies are totally a thing right now.
It is massive. It happens always this time of year. And if you do not get allergies, you are fortunate.
There's this this thing like
in your nose or under?
Like back in here somewhere.
He's pointing to his nose.
It's like it's not. I could look up a diagram of sinuses, but I feel like there's the nose part of your sinuses, like at the top of your nose that gets swollen and stuff. Maybe I ever since I got my deviated septum fixed, I don't feel that anymore. Like I almost never get swollen there. I don't even get a runny nose very often, but like back behind there, things happen.
Something's going on.
Something's happening. And the thing is, like, you can't really get to that.
Yeah, you
There's
can't,
like
you can't blow that out.
No, you can't. And you can't nasal rinse it out. It's just like, we're hanging.
It's just there.
How
Your nose even gets a little more swollen right at the tip of it.
Oh, I can feel it.
Oh, it's
And you
awful.
can feel it like running down the back of your throat.
And
they call that a post-nasal drip.
What you're saying, too, now, everybody, you're like, why should you guys take some medicine for it?
No.
That makes it worse.
No.
Believe it or not. We couldn't. It makes you so tired a lot of times. We would not be able to physically get up with how tired we are with the time change. Like, we couldn't make it into the show.
No.
And if you did, you'd have to do the show laying down because you'd be so tired.
No, can't. Just can't. I mean, it's gotten worse with time. Like, I just feel like I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, no, take nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, I've got some Allegra D, like with decongestant. I could take that.
I take sometimes some slivers of it just to take the edge off without, taking you out.
Just like a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, not a full dose, but enough to stop the itching.
Why are you picking your nose? I'm not. It itches in there.
Oh, it's bad. I get itches like I'll just get welts all over me and I'll just start itching them and then I get scabs and scars and it looks terrible and it feels terrible.
So I bought an air purifier.
Yeah.
And I absolutely notice a difference in the air in the room. It's almost like it's less humid.
Sure.
It's not a dehumidifier, but it really does feel like it's taking something out of the air.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it really has made my allergies
it'll be
any
helpful,
better.
but at this point with allergies, like it'll get to the part where like they're just top and nothing will help it. Like it's just that time of the year. It's just that season.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so if you're all aboard the allergy train, yay! Love it. The train is not leaving the station, and it's centrally located right in a field of flowers with a field of animals running around it.
And if you'll go ahead and take your seat, we'll actually have people coming through the aisles handing out flowers.
Yes, and rubbing them all over you in hopes that you enjoy your train ride through the allergy season.
Stick your arm out. Oh, you know what? Here, we'll just rub it against the side of your chest. Like, that way we'll get some awkward itching.
And they're going to pass out a tiny little thimble of local honey, like that's going to help.
This'll do it.
That'll fix it.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
I don't know what it was, but I was standing in my kitchen and I was like, what are we doing? Like, why?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, what are
in
we...
the kitchen? That's what you were saying?
What are we doing? Because, okay.
Or is this a life question?
Well, it's both. See, I was having an existential crisis in the kitchen. I look over and there's a cabinet full of dishes. Like cups and, plates and whatever. And I was like, what? No. I should just have the cup and the plate and I might upgrade and get the bowl. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm, forget about even disposable, whatever. No, and then when I'm done eating, I just get, I had one in college, the little things you fill it full of dish soap and it's got a scrubber on the end. Scrub, rinse.
Done.
Air dry.
Okay.
I did the dishes. It took me approximately 30 to 60 seconds.
And then the dishes are what you use next?
Yeah, and the dishes, by dishes, I mean I washed, the plate and the bowl.
And the silverware?
Okay, sure. That. And so there you go, and that's it. And instead, we're like, I have enough place settings. If every person I've ever met came to visit, they could all sit down and eat.
Well, just in case you're prepared.
So, I don't have those people over. I'm not throwing dinner parties. I should have the plate, the cup, and the bowl. That should be it. Why do we... And I get it. There's so many things that if it weren't... I think that if it weren't for girls, that it would be that way. if it was just men all the time, we would be like, I washed the dishes, the plate, and the cup, and that is all that I have. And again, when you step up at some point, you're like, I also have a bowl because maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you start with the bowl because you're mostly eating cereal.
And you can put everything on a plate in a bowl if you want.
Yeah. And then at some point you mature into having a plate also because then you're like, well, I decided to have a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
And I laid it flat on the plate.
So are you wanting to scale back or are
Yes.
you wanting to redo your space or something?
I just think I should massively scale back.
Well,
There's
just,
a plate.
go for it.
And just talk to my roommates and be like, okay, like new rules. Everyone gets a plate, a cup, a bowl. And everybody can pick their own color or design.
But that's it.
But that's it.
Maybe it's similar to like they say, we very rarely branch out and wear like all the clothes that you have in your closet. So they say a trick is to turn the hanger around.
Yeah.
And then when you put it back in, like you'll see what all you've actually worn or what's still facing the other way.
Right.
And then that'll tell you like you stick to the same like 5 or 10 items, get rid of the other stuff. So now maybe you can do something with the dishes and be like, hey, we haven't used this in forever.
No, because that's the thing is like if you have like you've got 10 dishes, you're not doing the dishes till you have a dish left, right?
Oh, sure.
So, let's just skip all that.
Well, what do you plan then?
You
Throw them away?
I'll give them away.
Give them away.
Because now that means 9 other people can have a plate.
You won't burden a person with all of them, though.
Heavens
You will have to find an individual person for each plate to kind of live this new lifestyle.
Nikki, I'm out there transforming lives.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I'm changing
give
things.
them all to just one person.
I'm changing things.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel like what Obi's found will take you through a good portion of the day if you need something to look at.
This is my new favorite Twitter account, I think. It's okay. I thought it was on Instagram, but it's on Twitter and it's on Reddit. It's malelivingspace.txt, and it's just photos of places that guys live, and it's so funny because there's so many things in here where I'm just like, yep. Exactly that.
Well, it's not like, I like how they phrase it. It's where men can live, not like they can make it work living in these spaces where maybe not everybody would.
This reminds me of that time. You remember when I needed to wrap your present? So I just took some tinfoil and wrapped it in tinfoil.
Used foil. Yeah, you made it work.
It had been covering a bunch of cookies and I took it off the cookies and wrapped it in that. And you had no idea until I told you.
Then I noticed, hey, that's used foil, and that was innovative. But when you take a step back and look at it, that would fit nicely along this world of these guys.
Yeah, and so I just love it. It is, there's so many pictures of things where they're like, hey, I found these construction barrels and I put a board on them and that's my TV stand now.
There it is. I like the replaces the Skyrim picture with a bigger Skyrim picture.
Good
and
call.
It is. Like, it really is a bigger Skyrim picture.
Well,
and it works, I guess.
Random stop sign near the door for no reason whatsoever.
Lots of beds on the floor. Like, not a lot of, bed frames.
It's functional. What more do you need?
I guess, but I think we could do a little more with the bed frame. Oh, the Nicolas Cage shower curtain's nice. That's a nice touch.
You know what? I can't help but when I look at this, I see the freedom that I'm looking for.
To do your own space your own way.
Yep, I do. And because one thing, all right, you guys know at home, I have turned my basement or part of it into kind of an office/studio so I can work from home when I have to. And the amount of work that I've tried to put it into, and every time I go in there and I'm like, all right, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to make it nice. When I get done, it looks the same.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. And every time I get rid of the boxes, apparently I just buy more stuff. And so there's more boxes.
Still more stuff there.
So I rewired it the other day, and I had gotten these new studio monitors, which are speakers, and I had cleaned the whole space up to get ready for them. And then when I got done, I was like, look at the mess.
It's still the same.
In this place. Like, what is the deal?
You need some more construction stuff, because I like the move in with my girlfriend this weekend. The Xbox was essential. Made the TV stand out of unused roof tiles.
Perfect.
That is something.
It's nice.
Looks like it's a hazard, but it works, I guess.
I like this. Interior design is my passion. And he's just Christmas lights around the top of the ceiling. You know what's sad? Totally done that.
That's all you need to do.
I just ran these Christmas lights around and turned them on. I love the vibes. I've totally done that.
Well, it's cool. So it's a Reddit space, but it's also on Twitter for male living space. So it's there. .txt.
I guess it just goes to show you, like, it's a good thing there are women. Like, there are, because one, I think the only reason I can just tell you the only time in all of college history that I remember one roommate I had in particular cleaning up was that he wanted his girlfriend to come over to our apartment.
Yeah.
And so it was like, hey, I'm cleaning. Everybody cleaning.
Clean up.
Clean, don't make a mess. And so he cleaned the place up. And that was the one time well, I ever saw him clean anything.
These aren't even like it's a messy place. It's just the design or the function or like the furniture of the spaces are just different choices that maybe not everybody would make.
No, I think they're great. You guys are doing great work. Keep it up. It's just like...
Keep it up by doing nothing.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
I've got a little note here that I'm sure is going to change your plans enormously. I am sure that when I tell you what the CDC has to say, you'll be like, all right, shut it down.
Well, I mean, we are supposed to look, I guess, at their suggestions, but then sometimes it changes and sometimes people just aren't sure. So we got to take it for what it is and go from there.
Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the Centers for Disease Control. Here's what she says. I'm pleading with you for the sake of our nation's health. They don't want you to go on spring break.
They don't want you to go do that.
Yeah, they said cases climbed last spring. They climbed in the summer. They will climb now if we stop taking precautions when we continue to get more and more people vaccinated.
Sure.
So she's saying, hey, listen, one more spring break.
Yeah, of not doing it, you mean?
Like, don't go on spring break. Because
but you see people on spring break, and then it looks nice. I saw people on the ocean the other day, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, and I mean, from what I can tell,
just be off to the side.
You go on spring break, and everybody just licks each other. You're just like,
well, I mean,
it's a traditional South Florida greeting.
It depends on your style.
Let me lick your palm.
It depends on your style of spring break. I mean, we all can spring break differently. But I just wanted to go on a quiet beach vacation where I'm not near anybody else.
I think it sounds nice.
I would like to do that. I don't want to be lumped into all the partying spring break.
I am taking a couple days off for spring break. I guess we'd call it that. I'm going to a cabin in the woods where I'm going to have to face monsters. Not really,
Coming
but
soon to Netflix for 10 episodes.
Wait,
follow Obi.
Cabin in the Woods is already taken. We'll call it House in the Woods. No. Little House on the Big Woods. No.
Cabin in the Trees.
Cabin in the Trees. Obadiah's Spring Break.
No.
Woo.
Wait, are you going to Virginia or West Virginia?
Something.
So you'd be like Cabin in the Woods, Virginia, and then each season would be a different place.
Cabin?
Yeah.
Okay. It's great. Let's get it started right now.
Doesn't sound as fun as a beach vacation, but it'll do.
It's not bad.
So if you go, just
you know
be
what?
safe.
I'll be socially distanced.
That's true. You can't help it when you're
that's nice
by yourself at a cabin in the woods.
All right.
But it is interesting to still I kind of want to see if the numbers go up or go down, but I don't want people to have the numbers go up or go down.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm just curious.
The opinions expressed in the following are not those of RadioU.
So hang on, everybody.
I just feel like somebody somewhere was like, pandemic's over, everybody go home. Where somebody somewhere has thrown a switch, and whereas we used to be like numbers were climbing, all these things were happening. Now the numbers are going down. People don't really care. They're kind of doing what they want. And I realize there are explanations for all of these things,
sure,
but it just seems weird to me. And maybe this is me. I'm just being stupid, but I don't feel like people being vaccinated has been enough for this to suddenly change.
Because it is, I mean, at least for us, mostly older people, and we're talking like spring break, and that'd be younger people. And we haven't had those.
I don't know. I just know that...
just no fun for right now, okay?
Yeah.
No fun yet.
The thing is, just be like Obadiah and Nikki, okay, guys? Just don't have any fun ever.
That's what we live by.
That's how you're supposed to live your life. Just get angry and stay home.
Just a heads up, though. I'd like to have a little fun soon. Just soon. Not saying now, but I'm getting a little antsy for that. And maybe soon we could do something safely.
Tell you what, Nikki, we'll reevaluate sometime next year.
That hurts. It better not be that way.
What? Oh, you want to wait till 2023?
I'd like to go earlier.
All right, summer 2023, Nikki's big trip.
Finally going on a vacation.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I think we're supposed to reach a point in life where we don't care what other people think about us. And I just want you to know it's probably going to be somewhere between 50 and 75 years after I'm dead when my body finally catches up with that idea that I don't care what other people think.
Well, why do you think it'll be then? Is there research?
No, I'm just telling you that I don't think I could possibly live long enough on this earth to mature to that point where I stop caring what other people think.
True.
I want to.
Sure.
I want to not care. And sometimes I flagrantly don't care. But every once in a while, there's this little something inside me that's like, I hope they like me. I hope they do. I hope they do. And I was at war with it yesterday. I went back to the gym. I've been to the gym twice in a week. I'll have to say, wow, that's great.
Now, are you using like less? Is it?
Oh, that's where we're coming up on
it's
here.
Less of a workout than you normally would?
Oh, friend. Like,
is it just walking in?
I'm just
changing, walking back out?
Getting from the car was tough.
I mean, that is a workout, and you're going to the gym at least.
No, so I'm in there, and yes, like I'm taking longer breaks.
Yeah. I'm
using less weight. And I just want to say to everybody around, like, hey, guys, I'm just coming back. I'm warming up to it, okay? Don't worry about it.
Don't tell them you were a COVID long hauler, because I don't think they would appreciate learning that.
What, not knowing that
They might not like that.
Why not?
You don't have it. You just still have symptoms of it.
So you're saying when I tell people that, it's off-putting?
It might be at the gym if you're working out with them.
Okay. Well, I'm just like, they say one of the ways you fight fatigue is to just push through it, and exercise really helps. And so you just do it anyway.
Yeah, but I think not with the COVID stuff. I think you still have to take it easy.
Okay, so you're saying, all right, I got a few people I need to talk to today then.
I think you just have to go in and take it easy and don't care what people think.
Okay, I'm a COVID long hauler. It's why I'm only using 20 pounds.
But
okay?
at least I'm here.
But like, aren't you encouraged that I'm here? Why are you walking away?
Why are you walking away? Sir!
Come back here.
Sir, will you spot me?
Come back here, please.
Aw, well, good. You got in to work out at least.
No, it was good. I'm just telling you that I just found myself repeatedly. I'm like, hey, I used to be able to lift that much. But, I mean, not today. I'm taking it easy.
But in a lifting culture world, do you think that people...
Yes.
They do judge each other?
Oh, yeah.
They do? Oh, yeah. Kind of like pushing each other to try to do more?
I guess. I don't know. Something.
Or I didn't know if you were just feeling that way, but it's not really happening.
You know what, Nikki? I'm sorry, Nikki. Did you just tell me my feelings aren't real?
They are. Never mind. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Did you just tell me that my feelings don't matter?
Your feelings are real and they matter, but I just didn't know in the lifting culture of a workout club, is that common? Because I'm normally just at like the treadmill section, and
I don't know.
There's not a lot of competition over there.
I don't really talk to a lot of other people at the gym. One of the things I do is I wear glasses and or contacts. I don't wear glasses or contacts in the gym. So everybody, I'm just in there working out with a bunch of blurry people.
It doesn't matter then. You can't see them. You won't even know them later.
I can usually tell if you're a guy or a girl, but I don't even like to wander into that gender territory. I'm like, you know what? In here, we're all equals. We're all blurry. I don't know what's going on.
Why do you wear your glasses when you work out?
It's just
just better that way.
You know what? I just, take them off. The world becomes my swimming pool. And
I don't understand.
I just go from there.
All right. Well, if you ever run into Obi at the gym and you're like, oh, hey, he won't remember you, and don't be offended.
That's right.
He just can't see you.
That's right. I've had a couple people that run into the gym, and like after a while, I'm like, hey,
you're here?
How long you been here? The whole time? I parked next to you. We walked in together.
I can't see anything.
Wow. It's real. It's real. So, you know what, though, Nikki? I'm just come back to it. I want everyone to like me and be super impressed with me. Mm-hmm. And that's not the life we're supposed to be living. Okay?
Sure.
And that's not why I'm in the gym. I've given up on that part Let's just stop.
Okay.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
A few minutes ago, we were talking about me having long haul COVID and you feeling like I shouldn't be telling people that.
No, at the gym in that case.
I feel like you're stigmatizing me and my people.
Okay.
Because I'm looking right here
Sure.
at a report from the National Institute for Health Research, and they say that about 10% of all people that have COVID have lingering symptoms 3 months later and beyond.
So that's what they call a long hauler.
Yes.
And is it always the symptoms you had when you had COVID, or is it just a couple of them, or it can vary from person to person?
They say I got the top 3 symptoms. You want to play a guessing game? What do you think they are? Number 1, survey says...
Fever!
Actually, that's not on the list.
Oh,
no, on
not?
this one. They say the top 3 are fatigue, breathlessness, and brain fog.
Oh, the fog and the fatigue seems to be what we hear the most about.
I'll tell you right now, like, that's legit, man. I have these moments. What's really weird to me is I just like can't remember what I was doing, what I was thinking, or like a word, a very common word that I would use all the time. It's just like,
You got to space out for a moment.
I do. Like, I'm just like,
You're like,
are we on? Hello? What's that? And it is legit. That is an absolute COVID thing.
Adam just texted, wasn't that normal pre-COVID? No, it wasn't.
No.
Not for Obi.
Not really. Like, not really. And the other thing that for me that happens a lot is usually I have fevers and fatigue. And it's weird. I have a low-grade fever. It's usually between 99.5 and 100. And I can absolutely feel it come on. I get chills.
Shaky.
That's the other thing is my hands shake. And it's not just my hands, but like I can feel it like across my back and through my arms that all of a sudden I'll just start shaking. And it's weird.
That's why I said just don't yell it at the gym. Don't be like, hey, guys.
You know what, Nikki?
Shaky.
I'm tired of the shaming that we do here. Like, this is just another branch of body shaming.
Is that it? It's another one
You're
of
body
it.
shaming me because here's the thing. Okay? That's my body.
Don't say anything about it.
And I should be proud of my body.
Whatever it's doing.
Whatever it is. Like, I should be proud of the extra 20 pounds I put on and the way it jiggles as I shake from the fever.
You're right.
I should be proud.
Let's love our body and love its quirkiness that we have.
Thank you. Okay. All right. This is the temple that you're mocking right now.
And it's just doing what it's doing.
And I'll tell you, 1 in 10 COVID surviving temples are suffering from some of these symptoms. So I think it's a great opportunity at the gym to educate my fellow gym goers to say, hey, listen, okay. All right. I know it seems like I'm out of breath and shaky. It's not from the workout. I'm a long haul coach.
See, maybe I'm telling you, maybe it's not is the best for you, but you're fine though. You're not contagious when that happens.
So you're saying the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one?
I'm not saying anything anymore. Don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just glad that, you're feeling better. And if not, whatever's going on in the temple, it's fine.
Okay. Well, this has been Body Shaming with Nikki. Tune in tomorrow where we're going to talk about your feet.
If this is body shaming, my feet or your feet? It better not be my feet.
Oh, no.
We're not shaming back.
It was the royal we.
It doesn't go back.
It was the royal we.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
If you're like Nikki and I, you probably woke up this morning already planning your ice cream for later.
Yeah. Well, just a little treat later this morning. It's not bad.
No big deal. And the people at Serendipity, who I thought they were a bakery, but...
No, that's the one in like New York that would have that frozen hot chocolate thing that everybody was always interested in.
Well, they're branching out, Nikki.
What are they doing now?
They've got an ice cream thing now that everybody's going to be interested in. They have teamed up with Warner Brothers to create 4 flavors based on classic Warner Brothers properties, including The Goonies. They've got The Goonies, Sloth and Chunk Rocky Road, chocolate marshmallow swirl ice cream with fudge covered almonds. That sounds pretty good. They've got Friends, Central Park Coffee Almond Fudge, which is coffee ice cream with thick fudge swirl and dark chocolate covered almonds. That That sounds very good.
And
let's see, we've also got a Caddyshack one that is Gopher Tracks and a Christmas story that is hard for me to read and I can't find it.
Oh, you can't see what's on there?
Let me see if I can find another. Nope. I got nothing. So those are the two. It's actually Friends and Goonies that are out now, and Caddyshack and A Christmas Story is coming out later.
So they'll be available for a limited time. They're about $6 for, it looks like, a pint of the ice cream, and it looks like maybe 7-Eleven, or it just depends on where you're at, where it'll be available.
So $6 for a pint. That's like the little...
The little one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's more like if you're buying the protein ice cream, like that's the pricing around there. But it is, you're paying for the ice cream and the licensing of the name that's on the ice cream.
And no doubt the years and years and years of research that went into the carefully crafting.
Of the ice cream flavors?
Oh, I'm just sure that's true.
Well, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with some of the stuff that they're attaching to it to like... We're like, why is that flavor the thing that's chosen? Could be they just came up with flavors like, yeah, this feels like Friends. We'll go with this.
Well, Goonies, like in that movie, Chunk talks to Sloth and he's like, Rocky Road.
So it makes sense.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Friends, I mean, the coffee shop, so it's coffee flavored ice cream. Like, okay, it's fine. Caddyshack, the gopher.
So the Christmas Story one is mint ice cream, red and green candy, and a chocolate cookie swirl. So the first two of them will be a part of Serendipity's ice cream range. Oh, okay. So the first two are long-term. Those will be available for a while. The rest of the flavors are limited releases throughout this year.
So,
and that'll be at most convenience stores and grocery stores.
I'm getting some. I'm going to be on the lookout for it. Yeah, sure. That way I can, own a real piece of Goonies merchandise and then eat it and make it a part of me.
You're going to throw away the container when it's done? You're going to wash it out and keep it out?
Wash it out and keep it.
Could be like a movie, like in your background with your movies.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
Well, I'll tell you, it's stacking up to be a really exciting St. Patrick's Day as they've spotted a first, what is this here? Walrus, an Arctic walrus, has been spotted in Ireland for the first time in 17 years.
I could see this happening. Like, yeah, this of course happened. It's not supposed to be there, but it's there.
So it says that they think it fell asleep on an iceberg that broke away and it just floated down to Ireland.
Yeah, he floated across the Atlantic Ocean and woke up and he was in Ireland.
Yeah. It reminds me of this time I was going to a music. This was not me. We went to a music festival, and there were two cars. One of the cars, everybody was sleeping, and one guy was driving. I was not in that car. And we were like, we couldn't figure out what happened to them or where they went.
Yeah.
But they went 4 hours in the wrong direction.
Oh, my gosh.
They didn't realize it until they got to the New Jersey state border.
That they were too far.
What?
Well, this walrus couldn't help it. It's not like there was anything it could do, except maybe get off the iceberg closer to when it started to float away, I guess.
Stop being such a lazy bum.
Get up and get out of there.
All right.
So they think that is what happened. They say it looks pretty exhausted. It's a young adult walrus.
Why? What's it been doing? Laying there?
You ever feel exhausted after a really long nap?
Yeah. Hey, no, believe me. Yes. I usually get up and have a banana or something.
Yeah, something to kind of wake you up. They say it seems like a pretty fit, fat, young walrus, and they think it might be able to make it home. If not, I'm not sure. Like, do they go and take it home, or do they take it closer?
It might be able to make it home.
I guess.
What is it going to... Are there, icebergs that are breaking off of Northern Ireland that are going to take it up to the Arctic Circle?
Sure.
It's just a matter of grabbing the right one?
They say it's not... It doesn't always happen, but sometimes they venture off on long trips to find new ladies in the area, new walruses, new friends. But in this case, it's a little far.
Nothing quite like a walrus wife to make you feel a little more welcome in Northern Ireland.
They say it is lost and it's away from friends. They're not afraid that it's going to die, but they are watching it to see what they should do.
All right.
And they say don't Don't
approach the walrus.
Don't approach it. Don't go near. They say this was only the third time a validated site of a walrus has been in Ireland since 1999. I guess I thought that would be longer ago, but that's okay.
So when they say a validated site,
someone's lying probably. Like, I think I saw a walrus.
Are you telling me that for some people they were like, no, your walrus is invalid?
Well, maybe after a night of drinking. They're like, they think they see a walrus. They're pretty sure, but they can't validate it like the person's telling the truth.
Thought it was the walrus. It turned out Bob had a chicken finger hanging out of his mouth.
Something like, I mean, who hasn't had that happen? But a lot of people are going around to, see the walrus since it's been spotted there.
Yeah. One of the most important things you can do as a citizen of Ireland is to get yourself some Instagram photos of the walrus.
I would.
I know.
I'm very sorry to say that. I know we should not crowd it and not bother it, but I would have to go get a picture. So I might even want to touch it, but you're not supposed to. It's a little farther away than that.
That's why they had to tell you.
I know, don't touch it and don't do it, but it's just a walrus and it's something. So again, they're not really saying anymore like what are they going to do with it?
Well, as of right now, it's thinking about grabbing the 8 a.m. igloo. No.
Boat. How about just it hops on the boat?
Something.
They could just put it on something and just tow it back closer to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that won't be an expensive thing.
Yeah, we'll just have the taxpayers pay for that.
Maybe the walrus is like, no, I'm here. Just put me in a zoo. Like, put me in a nice thing. I'm sure they'll figure something out.
There's another option.
No, it's not shooting it. So I don't want us to tease about that because that's not the option. It's a young, fit walrus.
Well,
it just fell asleep. It doesn't need that.
That'll teach it.
There's nothing to teach. It was an accident. It just fell asleep.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
In what is, I think, a fitting but also a concerning idea, you've got Tinder has made an announcement. Did you see this?
The background thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are our thoughts on that?
So here's the idea. Tinder, which we all know has a certain...
Each dating app has certain styles and things like that. And
culture.
Yeah, exactly. Some go to one for one thing. Some go to one for the other thing. It's all different.
Tinder people have a tendency to be there for a certain thing.
Sure.
So Tinder is like, one of the big issues we have is we really need a background check. So for a fee, you can look at somebody's profile on Tinder and run a criminal background check on them.
Does the person have to give permission to let someone run a background check on them, or do we not have you don't have a say-so in it?
I don't know. I don't. Do you have to consent to a background check?
I don't think you do.
So
if you were going for a job, they would do a background check. And
my thought is that you probably don't have to consent to it, and they probably have buried in their terms of service somewhere
something in there,
something that would allow them to do this.
So you do have to pay for it, though, because background checks, those do cost money.
Yes,
It'll be testing the service for a few months, and they feel like it will be implemented later this year in a full rollout.
Yeah. So first off, it should concern you a little bit if you find yourself on Tinder and you're like, there's a lot of people I want to run background checks on. Maybe try something else.
Who knows?
Where you could get to know people like in maybe a different environment. I don't know. My other thought is I want to see them roll this out on Facebook or Twitter or something. And I want to pay
someone follows you?
Oh, no. I just want to start running background checks on all my friends.
You don't want to.
Yeah, I do, because I want to be like, so, Brian, I see that somebody's been speeding a lot lately.
Oh.
What do you want to tell me about, man?
So for Tinder is owned by the same company that owns OkCupid and Match. So those are expected to go to those apps. This feature would at another time in the future.
All right. So we can just start right there from the app, start running background checks on people. It's perfect.
They say that they don't know the price. They're not saying what the price would be to run it. But for a lot of times, like a national criminal background check, normally about $7 to $15 per request.
Man, I've always seen them cost
like
more
30,
than that.
40
like
bucks.
20,
yeah.
$30. Like, yeah.
Maybe on a national scale, like if you'd be doing a lot more, they got probably a bulk rate, so it's a cheaper price.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's going to be one of those things where they're like, yeah, sign up for our pro matching, blah, blah, blah. And you'll get 10 background checks a month.
Does that get disclosed to the person? Do they get a notification like, hey, such and such, she ran a background check on you? Or like if you start dating, do you have to tell the person you felt compelled to run a background check on them?
That's what I love. I love the idea of me putting my picture out there and being like, I'm going to run a background check on everybody that clicks on me.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
We think the answer to all of our problems is not just doing yoga, but doing it with animals around. So yesterday we were talking about the yoga kittens.
Yeah.
At the shelter. What about the yoga chickens?
We've gone through goats. There's, it's just a common thread among exercising that maybe if you're feeling stressed out, you just find a shelter, a sanctuary, a farm, and then you go and add an animal to it, and maybe it'll make the workout a little less stressful.
Okay, now did we talk yesterday about yoga chickens?
We did not.
We talked about shelter chickens.
We did. Well, you talked about it, I think in between with just us, but I don't know if we actually talked about it on air.
Well, okay. There is a fitness center in Florida that is they call it the YBOR. Mm-hmm. That's an area in Florida. I don't know how to say that. Eber, whatever. Misfits Micro Sanctuary.
It's outside of, it's a Tampa Bay area neighborhood.
A refuge for abandoned birds.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, abandoned bird, fly away. Done. You're over. I ended you. Okay, just get out. This relationship's over. So they can come and live here at this yoga studio. So you go in there, you do the yogas with it.
Did you see, though, that they make sure that the chickens are domesticated? So they're all bathed and they're put in diapers before the yoga class starts. Because that's a common thing that people don't like with the yoga with goats is they'll just go to the bathroom all over you.
Really?
And that's a part of the thing.
What are they, animals?
I know, right? So they're put in diapers. Oh, it's so a thing from Etsy. And then they wrap over their wings and under the legs, and then they snap over the back so they're ready for yoga with you.
So they can do some crescent lunges and warrior poses.
Sure.
Well, good for them. Hey,
look at the pictures.
The thing is that it would take, and I don't want to stereotype here, but I feel like the kind of people that do yoga are the kind of people that could have a chicken like this around. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like if I set some chickens loose, like in the weight room, people would just look at it and be like, hey, man, somebody forgot to unwrap the protein.
They didn't. I like it, Planet Fitness. It's chicken day.
It's running around. Somebody get it. And while you're out, grab us some chicken fingers.
Well, this is a good way to put it. Think of it as animal therapy, which has been around for a very long time. And this is just a way for, emotional support animals has kind of had a negative feel for the last couple of years with can you have one, can you not? Is it classified as one? This is just animal therapy at different locations, and you can go and lowers your blood pressure. It helps with anxiety, all this stuff.
All right. Well, get yourself a rescue chicken, then give it a bath, put a diaper on it, and start relaxing.
The animal place does that. You don't have to do any of that. You just go there ready to go do yoga with them.
With a chicken.
With a chicken.
In a diaper.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Here's a ho-ho and $5. Happy birthday.